The signal came on a Tuesday. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the observation deck of the Lunar Detection Array, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display floating before her. The incoming transmission didn't match any known pattern. It was too structured to be natural, too complex to be human-made. 20 years of searching the stars for signs of intelligent life. And now this. "Run it again," she ordered, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. The quantum processors hummed, analyzing the signal for the 100th time. The result remained unchanged. Something was coming. In Washington, D.C., Admiral James Chen paced the length of the Global Defense Council chamber. The holographic projections showed a massive fleet approaching from beyond Mars' orbit. 50 ships, each larger than anything humanity had ever constructed. "How long?" he asked, his weathered face illuminated by the red warning lights. 18 hours until they reach lunar orbit, Lieutenant Reza Karim replied, his fingers dancing across the tactical display. "They're not trying to hide their approach, sir. If anything, they want us to see them coming." The signal had shifted now, broadcasting on all frequencies in perfect Mandarin, English, Arabic, and a dozen other Earth languages simultaneously. "People of Earth, the Nexus Confederation extends its greetings. Your isolation ends today. Prepare for integration into our collective." Maya's team had already decoded the subtle threats woven into the message. The Confederation wasn't asking. They were telling. "They're scanning us," Lieutenant Karim reported, his dark eyes narrowing at the readings. "Deep scans, penetrating right through our atmosphere. They're mapping everything. Military installations, power grids, population centers." Admiral Chen's jaw tightened, "and showing us they can do it. Classic intimidation tactics." He turned to the assembled council members, representatives from every major nation on Earth. "They think we're primitive, defenseless. That will roll over at the first sign of superior technology." Maya's voice crackled through the secure channel. "Admiral, there's something else. Their scans, they're leaving a signature we've seen before. Remember Project Aegis?" Chen's eyes widened slightly. 3 years of classified research, billions in funding, all to develop a planetary defense system that seemed impossible. Until now. "The quantum field harmonics," Maya continued, excitement creeping into her voice. "Their technology operates on the same principles we've been studying. They're not just scanning us, they're showing us exactly how their systems work." In lunar orbit, Maya watched as the alien fleet drew closer. Their ships were beautiful in a terrifying way. Geometric perfection, rendered in metal and energy fields, each vessel larger than a small city. The Confederation had clearly expected their arrival to inspire awe, fear, and submission. They didn't expect laughter. Admiral Chen's deep chuckle filled the council chamber. "Dr. Patel, how long would it take to bring Aegis online?" Maya's fingers flew across her console, calculations streaming through her mind. With their own energy signatures to calibrate against. 12 hours, maybe less. A smile tugged at her lips. "They've just handed us the final piece of the puzzle." The council chamber erupted in overlapping conversations until Chen raised his hand. "Ladies and gentlemen, I propose we respond to their ultimatum with one of our own. But first," he looked at the tactical display, where the alien fleet continued its confident approach. "Let's show them something they've never seen before, humans who aren't impressed by their light show." Maya was already mobilizing her team, bringing Project Aegis out of its underground bunkers across the globe. As she worked, she couldn't help but smile. The Confederation thought they were dealing with primitive children, afraid of the dark. They were about to learn that humanity had outgrown its fear of the night. The warning shot had been fired, but not by them. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Project Aegis hummed to life. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the center of the quantum core chamber, surrounded by holographic displays showing the alien fleet's approach. The massive room thrummed with energy as technicians activated systems that had never been tested at full power. Quantum harmonics stabilizing. Lieutenant Karim reported from his station. The aliens' energy signatures are giving us a perfect calibration template. Maya nodded, her eyes fixed on the real-time calculations streaming across her display. Project Aegis had started as a theoretical defense system, a way to create a quantum field that could adapt to any threat. Now, thanks to the Confederation's unwitting demonstration, theory was becoming reality. Status report. Admiral Chen's hologram materialized in the chamber, his expression tense but controlled. "We're ahead of schedule," Maya replied, gesturing to the global deployment map. "The quantum nodes are accepting the new calibrations. The Confederation's scanning frequencies gave us exactly what we needed. A baseline for how their technology interacts with space-time. Around the world, buried quantum nodes activated one by one, each connecting to a network that humanity had spent 3 years building in secret. The nodes were simple in principle, crystalline structures that could manipulate quantum fields, but their potential was revolutionary. "They're hailing us again," Chen reported. "Getting impatient. They're demanding an answer to their offer of integration." Maya allowed herself a small smile. "Let them wait. Each scan they perform gives us more data, makes our calibration more precise." She turned to a secondary display showing the alien fleet's position. "They think they're demonstrating their power. In reality, they're teaching us exactly how to counter it." In the quantum core, equations shifted and evolved as the system learned from each alien transmission. Project Aegis wasn't just a shield. It was an adaptive defense system that could turn an enemy's strength against them. The more the Confederation flexed their technological muscles, the stronger Earth's defenses became. Dr. Patel, one of her team members, called out, "You need to see this. The quantum field is exhibiting unexpected behavior." Maya moved to the technician's station, her eyes widening as she studied the readings. The quantum nodes weren't just connecting. They were creating new patterns, new configurations that they hadn't programmed. The field was evolving on its own. "It's learning," she whispered, watching as the system adapted and grew more complex with each passing moment. "The quantum field isn't just copying their technology, it's improving on it." Admiral Chen leaned forward, his holographic form flickering slightly. "Is that safe?" "More than safe," Maya replied, excitement creeping into her voice. "It's perfect. The Confederation's technology is based on rigid, predetermined patterns. Ours is adaptive, evolving. They expect us to either have no defense or to try copying their methods. Instead, we're doing something they've never seen before," Chen finished, understanding dawning on his face. Above them, the alien fleet held position just beyond lunar orbit, their massive ships arranged in a display of military precision. They were probably expecting Earth's leaders to be arguing, panicking, preparing to surrender. Instead, humanity was preparing a surprise of its own. Maya's team worked through the night, monitoring the quantum field's evolution. Each time the Confederation scanned Earth, looking for signs of submission, Project Aegis grew stronger. The aliens' own arrogance was becoming their greatest weakness. Final node calibration complete, Lieutenant Karim announced as dawn approached. Global coverage at 98% and rising. Maya stepped back, taking in the holographic representation of Earth surrounded by an invisible web of quantum fields. 3 years of work, countless theoretical breakthroughs, and one arrogant alien fleet had brought them to this moment. "Admiral," she said, her voice steady, "Project Aegis is ready." Chen nodded, his hologram straightening. "Then it's time to show the Confederation that humanity doesn't appreciate uninvited guests." He paused, a hint of a smile crossing his face, "especially guests who don't bother to knock first." Around the world, humanity held its breath. The Confederation had arrived expecting to find a primitive species ready for integration. Instead, they were about to discover that humanity had a few surprises of its own. The quantum field stabilized, forming an invisible barrier around Earth, not just a shield, but a mirror that would reflect the aliens' power back at them. The Nexus Confederation launched their attack at dawn. From their flagship, Supreme Commander Vexor watched with cold satisfaction as 10,000 energy projectiles streaked toward Earth's atmosphere. Each one carried enough power to level a major city. The primitive humans had ignored their ultimatum, choosing defiance over integration. Now they would learn the price of such foolishness. Impact in 5 seconds, his tactical officer announced. Dr. Maya Patel stood in Project Aegis's control center, her hands steady on the quantum field controls. Around her, dozens of technicians monitored their stations, each watching as the alien weapons approached. Admiral Chen's hologram stood beside her, his expression calm despite the incoming barrage. Quantum field at full strength, Lieutenant Karim reported. All nodes responding. Maya nodded. Let's show them what we've learned. The projectiles hit Earth's quantum field, and something remarkable happened. Instead of exploding or being deflected, they simply stopped, hung in space like fireflies caught in amber. Then, slowly, they began to change. Are you seeing this? Maya leaned forward, watching the readings with growing excitement. The quantum field isn't just blocking their attacks. It's repurposing them. The energy weapons transformed, their destructive power feeding back into Project Aegis's network. Where there had been instruments of destruction, now there was a spectacular-like show. Ribbons of color dancing across the sky, like an aurora borealis visible from every corner of the globe. In Times Square, crowds gathered to watch the display. Someone started playing music, and soon it became an impromptu party. Similar scenes played out in cities worldwide. Humanity's response to an alien attack was to throw a celebration. Impossible. Commander Vexor slammed his fist on his command chair. Those weapons could shatter moons. Sir, his science officer's voice wavered. The humans. They're broadcasting. Every screen on the Confederation fleet filled with images from Earth. People having picnics under the light show. Children pointing and laughing at the sky. Street artists painting the colored ribbons of transformed energy. And everywhere, humans smiling, completely unafraid. In the Project Aegis control center, Maya watched as the quantum field grew stronger with each alien attack. The system is learning from every projectile, she explained to Admiral Chen. Each weapon they fire gives us more data, makes our defenses more sophisticated. Sir, Lieutenant Karim called out. They're launching a second wave, different configuration this time. The Confederation's second attack came in the form of quantum-tipped missiles, designed to phase through any conventional defense. They struck the quantum field and vanished completely. Maya burst out laughing. Oh, that's brilliant. The field didn't just stop them. It absorbed their phase shift technology. We can now integrate quantum phasing into our defensive grid. Around Earth, the quantum field shimmered with new patterns, becoming even more complex and beautiful. Humanity's first contact with alien weapons had somehow turned into the greatest light show in history. The Confederation launched wave after wave of attacks, each more sophisticated than the last. Gravity bombs, temporal disruptors, dark matter projectors, weapons that should have reduced Earth to atoms. Instead, each one was caught, transformed, and repurposed by the ever-evolving quantum field. Someone in Rio de Janeiro started a scoring system, rating each alien attack on style and originality. The idea caught on globally, with people creating elaborate scorecards and posting their ratings on social media. The Confederation's fearsome assault had become a source of entertainment. They're adapting their strategy, Admiral Chen noted, watching as the alien fleet regrouped. Looks like they're preparing for a concentrated strike. Maya nodded, but her expression remained confident. Let them try. The quantum field has cataloged every weapon in their arsenal. There's nothing they can throw at us that we can't handle. As if in response to her words, the Confederation launched their most powerful attack yet. A synchronized barrage from their entire fleet, combining every weapon type they possessed. The energy output would have been enough to crack a planet. The quantum field caught it all, transforming the apocalyptic assault into the most spectacular display yet. The sky blazed with impossible colors, patterns that shouldn't exist in normal space dancing above every city on Earth. People cheered, took photos, shared videos. Some couples even got married under the lights, declaring it the most beautiful wedding backdrop ever. In his command chair, Supreme Commander Vexer watched in disbelief as humanity celebrated his fleet's most devastating attack. What kind of species, he asked nobody in particular, turns a planetary assault into a festival? The answer, though he didn't yet realize it, was simple: a species that had just proven itself far more advanced than the Confederation had imagined. Humanity hadn't just survived first contact with a hostile alien force, they had turned it into art. Maya gazed at the monitors showing celebrations around the world. "You know what the best part is?" she asked Admiral Chen. "What's that?" "We're just getting started. Every attack makes us stronger, teaches us more about manipulating quantum fields." She smiled. The Confederation thought they were coming to teach us our place in the galaxy. Instead, we're teaching them. Chen finished, watching as another wave of alien weapons transformed into harmless light and energy. And something tells me this lesson isn't over yet.